polarized. It is trying to hold various paradoxes in appropriate tension.
John Burns, New York Times. I may have misunderstood with my question from the Bishop of Mauritius and Bishop of Toronto is that at the least you would neither of you be classed as being in conservative camp on this issue. And so my question goes to Archbishop Aspinall, and that is, if at a briefing for the press like this, you do not have present somebody who speaks clearly for the conservative camp in this,
well,
can I finish something? Does that represent in some way how little progress there is and how threatening the schism remains?
I reject your premise entirely. Archbishop Ian is squarely planted in the Conservative camp, an active member of the Global South, the chairman of Kappa, well-known Conservative views about these issues. George?
George Conger, Church of England newspaper, Archbishop Ian. What has the GAFCON movement done to the unity of Kappa? Do you see the Jerusalem Declaration being of any significance in this gathering? What are your views on the whole GAFCON movement?
Actually, I have invited my brother primates to attend a primates meeting of Kappa on the 2nd and 3rd of September in Kenya. And on the agenda, we put the GAFCON and the Lambeth Conference, what has happened and what they bring to us, and from there we are going to move forward. So, and the General Secretary of Kappa, Canon Grace Keso, has attended the Jerusalem Conference, so Kappa has been present.
Yes, Harold Lewis, Church Publisher in New York. After the Archbishop's presidential address, a lot of bishops felt that a diminution of the status of either the U.S. or Canada might be an eventual consequence of the deliberations. Do you think that the encouraging tone of the Indaba groups might lead towards avoidance of that eventuality?
Within our Indaba group, we've not reached consent. It's not at this point. We've not reached consensus. There are some very strong voices that would favor that, and there are other equally strong voices, interestingly, from beyond Canada and the United States, that would be very upset at a covenant that was two-tiered, and that both of those positions were expressed quite forcefully today.
Covenant is really coming into view tomorrow. We've got time for probably maybe two more. Ruth?
Archbishop Ian, in tomorrow's Times, Henry Aromby has written a comment piece in which he accuses the Archbishop of Canterbury of betrayal and says that he represents a remnant of Britain's colonial past, which is not doing justice to a modern Anglican communion. I was very interested in what you said about providing a bridge from here in your Indaba groups to the Global South. And I wonder if in the light of Henry Aromby's comments, and considering whether there still might or might not be schism, you could explain more about that bridge and whether you think schism is avoidable.
As you know, some of my brothers haven't attended, but we are the bridge so that we can bring their voices here. I want to answer to my brother here. The Conservative voice is very much here, and we have responded to the invitation of the Archbishop of Canterbury and to engage ourselves with the Windsor continuation process, to engage ourselves with the principle of covenant, so that we can make this communion be a true witness of God's love. But definitely, I have to say it again, I am someone whose life is based on the scriptures, and I'm going to defend it, but I'm going to defend it with love and respect.
Last one, someone who hasn't asked. Yes, sir.
Andrew Carey, Church of England newspaper. We're hearing a lot about process during the Lambeth Conference, and it's all very nice hearing about how well you're getting on in Indaba, but it looks like navel gazing to a lot of people outside. Are you actually going to say anything to the outside world about human sexuality?
let me say, from my point of view, it doesn't feel like navel gazing from the inside. It feels like significant steps.
That's the point. Yeah.
Significant steps are being taken in relationships between the bishops, and growth in understanding is occurring. Ask the bishops about that around the campus. And the signs I've seen are that bishops are moving. We might not have reached consensus. In fact, we certainly haven't reached consensus. But I believe people are feeling that significant growth is occurring.
Where consensus has critically gathered is in terms of around the environment, ecology, and Millennium Development Goals. And there is some very strongly expressed opinion within my endowment group that the media concentration on sexuality has diminished the possibility of actually engaging in some of the really critical additional issues in our world, which are Millennium Development Goals.
Yes, you happy? Okay, it's after 1:55. We need to go, but I'll ask Jackie to come forward and speak to you for a few minutes about the Spouses program. And you will get, as you leave today, draft 3 of the reflections document, which has been produced overnight. It's gone from 13 pages to 18 pages, and a lot more work is still going on around that, so get that